Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. Damn, it's been that long since I've actually done one. Okay, so this guy claiming to be Doug the Third tells Julie his story, how he got there, how he is connected to our Doug, and well, Julie just believes him. And I am. Here's the thing, I get it. Julie is going through probably the worst day of her life. Among the worst days of her life, losing the person that has been pretty much more than a soulmate, more of like a body part to her. And so, with that being said, she just believes everything that this guy is claiming to say is true. So much so that she invites him to, stay with her. I mean, you stay with her. And, she brings it back. She introduced him to Jennifer and Marie. And so, they just also take it at face value. And it turns out, like I thought, that he was the person that got those jewels. Meanwhile, um, Stephen and Leo strike up a conversation, and Stephen tells Leo about his shady past and vice versa a little bit. And for the most part, they seem like they're having a really good time. Now, back at the Horton house, um, Lucas accuses um, Stephen of being the one that stole the necklace. And, Jennifer's like, well, listen, we don't have any proof that he did it. And Marie's like, hey, listen, he has a very sketchy past. And because of his sketchy past, Lucas is just like, well, it's more than enough for me. So he goes to Sierra. They go confront him and just straight up accuse him of stealing the necklace and saying, well, we jumped to that conclusion because of your shady past. Is that so, Lucas? Because I'm pretty sure you've done some shady shit in the past. Your most recent one, kidnapping Sammy. Remember that woman, right? Yeah, okay. And he's like, oh, well, we're going to sit there and search you and everything. Steve was like, no, you're not. You're not going to do any of that. So he walks off, but before he goes, he tells Leo about his son who's gay and, look him up and everything. So he leaves, and Sierra's like, well, did he tell you anything more when he was talking to you, maybe about diamonds and stuff like that? And Leo's like, you just accused him without any proof, based off his past. And y'all two are the last people to be judging anyone. Cites that Sierra married a convicted serial killer, and Lucas, well, you're a kidnapper. So y'all really don't have any room to sit there and talk about anyone at all. And he walks off, and I'm like, you know, Leo has a damn good point. He has a damn good point. And Sierra just kind of standing there, just like she's shocked, like, oh, like how who does he think he is to sit there and judge us? Well, is he wrong? Because everything he said was true. So, back at John's and Marlena's, you know, what is it, a house or apartment? I think it's an apartment. Anyway, back at their place, um, Sean comes over and they get to talking with Belle and everything. Um, Belle finds out that Bo is being responsive, squeezed Hope hand and everything, and then they get into the future of their marriage. And this is actually really important because granted, here's the thing. Belle was really angry that, Sean cheated on her because of his guilt with Bo. And I felt like she was really out of pocket because I'm like, Bo, you done way worse. You done way worse and way more as far as cheating. And for you to sit there and be that judgmental is really ridiculous. But, she's like, listen, with everything going on and maybe him getting out the coma, do you think you could sit there and start to forgive yourself and let go of that guilt? So I was like, I don't know, because even if it gets out, we don't know what conditions he's going to be in. And it just, it's a work in progress. He can't sit there and say for 100% sure. And this is where he gets to a point where he's like, I may not be the man that you fell in love with. And maybe it's time to sit there and end our marriage. And for me, I sat there and I was like, I looked at it two ways. You're giving up, right? You're giving up. You can sit there and say you love her, but you're not showing that by giving up. But then I also look at it in another way, being like, you have to be honest. Because, as I said in one of my other reviews, maybe General Hospital, love is not always enough. That's the truth of the matter. Love is not always enough. As profound as love is, and how people sit there and think, well, love is going to carry us to the end because it's love and blah, 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 and being all romantic and everything like that. And the truth of the matter is, it's not always enough. No. Um, it's a perfect notion at best. And then he also talks about the damage and everything like that, the hurt they've done over the years on both sides, and pretty much just being like, well, we the damage over the years, you know, it's gotten to this point where it's like enough is enough. And there's so many other things to sit there and consider. You don't want to sit there and get to the point where you really start to resent each other, and they have a child together. I know that she's practically a grown ass woman, but like they're bonded through life because of Claire. I don't know about you, but I don't want to sit there. If I was with someone, I wouldn't want to sit there and resent them for the rest of my life, knowing that I'm bonded. At the very least, you could sit there and just be good co-parents and be decent to each other, as opposed to trying again and it just not working. This is why I always sit there and look at people who's like, oh, we should stay together because of the kids. We should make it work because of the kids. Even the quote unquote great Kevin Samuels, I disagreed with a number of times. It wound up being like, you got to do it for the family unit. But kids pick up on that real quick. And you're just teaching your kids to sit there and make the same mistakes that you're making. So yeah, the damage is just too much. And, she realized that too. She just didn't say it out loud, but she thought about it in her head. But I also felt like, in the same sense, when she said that, if he would have said something different, like, yeah, I think we should sit there and try because it's always counseling, everything like that, I think she would have been open to that as well. We see in the previews, she wound up hooking up with EJ and everything. And I know he's going to be pissed off, and I know people are going to be like, oh, this is so out of pocket. But remember, he's the one that sat there and said, this ain't working. We need to sit there and end this now. So if anyone is that they want to get upset with her for hooking up with AJ, just remember, it's Sean that sat there and said that he wanted to end it. Okay? So she can do whatever the hell she wants at this point moving forward. Anyway, Maria's leaving, and I'm pretty sure that Liz is leaving soon afterwards. And I guess this was good for the people that like Liz and Maria, but for me, I was just like, I don't know who these two are. Yeah. So it seems like, for the most part, they're actually getting back to the story after 3 days of mourning. Um, Doug. But I get it. Incredible character, incredible human being, and it was more of a mourning also for the cast because that funeral, even though it was acted and scripted, it really wasn't. You know, it really wasn't. And I know that we got to sit there and go do John's one next. And, for any producers, make sure you share this video. We can go through that again with John and the funeral and everything like that. I just feel like it's important to sit there and also make sure that you show some story too. You can do both. It doesn't just have to be the funeral. That's important and no one's not there denying that. But this was 3 days of just the funeral, you know? And as important as it is to sit there and honor the man and the legacy of the character, it's also important to sit there and tell a story as well. And I don't think that the two should be mutually exclusive. Anyway, I feel like that's pretty much about it. I can't think of anything else. But if I forget anything, we'll sit there and talk about it during the live stream tonight, which is 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll sit there and talk about all the shows, General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, Bold and Beautiful, and Young and Restless, because I got thoughts about those too. Hell, I didn't even watch GH or B&B yet. But I can already tell you that we're going to be going through those as well. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.